Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, folks. I finished recording that last Hockey Manor video not too long ago, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and play my Dragoon. What I have done is joined the main scenario duty finder, and we're going to be doing an 8-man party into one of the level 50 dungeons. Duty Roulette, main scenario. I decided to go as my Dragoon simply because I don't know these dungeons very well. And even though it's important for a DPS to know their role, there's going to be 3 other people to help back up the damage. The first time I went through here, I was completely confused, didn't know what was going on. Probably won't know what's going on in either of these dungeons this time either. But I'll feel a whole lot more comfortable as a DPS than I will as a healer. There's only 2 healers that go with the party. Both of them are incredibly important that they know what they're doing. Same with tanks. In fact, again, here the tanks are most important. We're waiting on one person to confirm their selection. They timed out or backed out, which is kind of unfortunate. Somebody else instantly gets pulled in, and there we go. I only had to wait a few minutes to join this. I'm pretty sure that this roulette is ran excessively because people can get a lot of tombstones or something like that from it. Full party quest. Now, I'm just going to warn everyone. Second time here, I'm awful. Just warning everyone. So, let's see. My hit points, where am I at? I don't even see my name. Oh, 3289. I'm up at the top. So, I'm not sure if we're going to fight these things or what. In some of these that I've went to, we don't actually fight the mobs. We just run past them and brutally murder them. Or not brutally murder them, I can't even talk while I'm doing this. We basically just run past them and go to where we're going. So I'm not going to bother explaining all of my moves. I'm not going to bother also trying to focus on talking that much. I'm mostly just going to ramble. But I'll give you a little bit of background on this place. Basically, this is it's not the final phase of the main story, but we are launching our final assault on the Empire. And I think we fight those first guys and then run past all of these. It's always important to follow the tank, I'm pretty sure. If you don't follow the path that they know and are following, then yeah, you'll have a bad time. But again, most people are pretty nice when it comes to you being bad here. It's later on in some of the hard modes and extreme mode things that I don't think they're as nice. Okay. So I guess we're going to end up fighting these things after all. There are ways that you can lock enemies out of boss fights. Like if you pull the enemies up to this line and then engage the boss, after 15 seconds this will seal off any enemies on the other side. And honestly, this probably would have been doable for me as a white mage. In fact, the next time we come here, I probably will be a white mage. You notice, for those of you that actually know what you're doing, I'm not using any of my back attack moves yet. I'll save those for the bosses, where it's probably more important. And here we go. So this thing, what I know about it is that you do not want to stand in front of it, because it has a frontal area of attack ability that will basically ruin your day. And I've got to be careful whenever I use my jumps, because if I'm not, I will have my jump time and actually get stuck in one of those area of effect attacks, which I don't want to do. There we go. Because I don't want the healers to have to bother healing me. I'm a DPS. My job is to do damage and avoid taking damage. The healers should primarily just be able to focus on healing the tanks. We dive down the disposal chute. Yes, there are cutscenes everywhere. Thankfully, I've already been through here, so I don't have to skip the cutscenes. The cutscenes are quite long. It's generally preferred that people don't watch the cutscenes. You can watch the cutscenes back at like the tavern or something like that. So, I guess we will be fighting these things. Yeah, the cutscenes for this area are quite good, in my opinion. I do happen to like this part of the story. A lot of the story is just filler, it seems like. But whenever it got here to where we're dealing with the actual Empire and fighting Magitech and stuff, that's whenever I kind of got a nostalgia boner and couldn't help myself. I had to watch. Let the tanks go. And somebody ran too close to that thing, so I guess we'll have to kill it. Like I say, always follow your lovely tanks. They know what's going on. Canister, maybe we do need to kill that thing. I don't know if we need to pick up those incendiary canisters or not. That's a tank. He's a marauder, I believe. I don't know what marauders actually turn into. And there we go. Yeah, I got caught in the AoE. One thing I really need to bind to one of my hotkeys is actually this evasive jump. It sends me 15 feet back just about instantly. And I'm more worried about these guys with their AoE attacks than I am about that thing. I don't know what the most important is. Also, I told you, I'm being awful. This is a skill called Heavy Thrust. It allows you to do 15% more damage. It's basically something that I should always have active. I need to get it bound to one of my mouse abilities, or to one of my mouse buttons. That way I can just spam it every couple of seconds. I think at my level it lasts for 20-some. You can tell I don't know my job that well. I may be a level 50 Dragoon, but there are much better ones out there. But class knowledge comes with time. And eventually, yes, there we go. I've got a second wind invigorate ability that I can use every once in a while. It'll allow me basically to heal myself so that the mages don't have to, or the healers don't have to. Again, hard for me to pay attention to everything and talk to. I should probably shut my mouth some of these times. So, I think what we're trying to do at this point in the story is take down the field generators. That way we can get inside to fight Ultima Weapon. He's the last major boss in this place. Pretty interesting fight. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have the Ultima Weapon music from Final Fantasy VI, but we don't get everything we want. And okay, I was gonna say, what the hell is happening? This ability here is called Power Surge. it basically makes my next jump attack do a lot of extra damage. Which, since there were a lot of enemies there, I decided to power up my Dragon Fire Dive, which is my AoE jump attack. Now, some of these bosses that are coming up are actually quite hard, if I am remembering correctly. Which I may or may not be. I can't tell where his front is, there's so much flashy shit going on. Yeah, like that. I think he'll launch a massive attack forward. I don't know if I could even stop that, like, can I sweep that? And disable? I'm not entirely sure. Bosses, you can't always stun their attacks. I'm not even going to worry about clearing off the ads there. I'm going to focus all my DPS on the boss. I think we lost somebody, possibly a mage. And the reason I'm not focusing my DPS on the boss is last time I was in here, it seemed like no matter how many of those ads that we killed, they just continued to pop up and up and up. They never stopped, and I'm fucked right here. Okay, thank God everything died. So I just got caught in an AoE. So yeah, the poor new guy died. Viewing his cutscene. Dramatic music. Oh. Get your heart pumping. Now, the first time I was here, I'm pretty sure, again, that I made a pretty big mistake. And I ended up, hey, there's Sid in his Magitech. This game does have fan service galore. There's a lot of throwbacks to older Final Fantasies, which is actually, in my opinion, pretty dang cool. So, now up here, if I'm not mistaken, there are these cannons. If you use them, you're at each shot that you do. Crap. Each shot that you use does 3,000 damage. Now, I'm pretty sure what happens here at this point is the tanks split up and go pull things, and then they pull them back to the cannons so that we can kind of just nuke them down. I honestly don't know why my cursor is disappearing, but okay. So I thought that I had to have the boss targeted. Oh, and yeah, he's not very happy at these things. These things will draw his aggro. Go. I think there's 2 or 3 of these. But if everyone's gonna run this way, I'm definitely not gonna be left behind. So last time I was here, we stayed there for like 2 or 3 minutes, just pulling things to the cannons and nuking them for 3,000 a pop. Like, the tanks went and grabbed all these, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm actually gonna sprint here. Sprinting as DPS in a tank is kind of dangerous because you do lose all of your TP, which is what you use for attacking. But I think we're just gonna bypass this entire segment. Oh, there's cannons here, okay. That's why. For a second I was like, oh god, did I miss a chute that we were supposed to jump into? And they're all dead. Thank goodness. The armamentarium. You do not want to be caught on the other side of one of those seals whenever you eventually get sealed off. I think that there's a boss fight coming up here. Not entirely sure which boss it was. We're not missing anyone. I think this gate goes down. This might take a while. Watch my back. Where are you at, Sid? Is he destroying some type of power generator, perhaps? Anyways, people that know what they're doing, they set up the AoE attacks, AoE fields here to deal damage to the things that come along. Basically get them trapped in it. There we go. Magitech Colossus Rubicatus, or something like that. Some badass mofo. Most of these things, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before, you do not want to stand in front of. Let the tanks stand up there, because most of them have frontal AoE attacks. Okay. So I was hoping that I could target that thing. Maybe those... Oh god. Yeah, if you see a tether to another mob, you have to kill the thing that's tethered, like, as quickly as you can. If you don't, bad things will happen. Kill some of these ads real quick. At some point, I think when the name for that pops up, then we'll go target it. Or maybe they just blow up on their own, I'm not entirely sure. Also, there's so much shit on the screen. Don't even know who I have targeted half the damn time. It's a complete clusterfuck, these full parties are. I can't even imagine what a 24-man raid is like. Yes, once you learn the names of the Empire soldiers, you'll know. Like Medicus, obviously they're going to be doing healing. These guys, they have an axe, so they're some type of marauder. That was just about bad. Okay. And again, see, most of these, I don't even think I should really be worrying about. I should probably be up there on the boss, but since those things seemed to be targeting my healers in the back or my mages, might as well give them a few love taps on the chin. There we go. Rest in peace, you Magitech bastards. Okay. I was gonna say, I'll pick up the identification key if nobody will. I'll take that honor. Go to the cannons, somebody says. So the tank's gonna pull them back here. I think that's a waypoint that a tank has set. Unfortunately, I can't actually target around the corner. So I hope that they're gonna pull back here. But hell, maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe there are cannons up here or something. Hell if I know. Yeah, there are cannons up here. Okay. We're doing it in a little bit different order than I did before. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to kind of jump out of that just in case. I think somebody interrupted his area of effect attack there. The parade ground walls slide open. Now, people are like water. So if you don't know where you're running and you just run, other people that don't know too might just form up and follow along with you. Stay out of the room, Len. Watch but don't enter. Okay. Good, all those bastards in the center died. Holy crap. And again, since I have no idea what's actually going on here, I think they're pulling them back maybe to the cannons. Yeah, people are doing sequence break strats. I don't know. This is why it's so hard for me to figure out what's going on half the time. Because it's just done in a really weird order. And the people who've done this a million times, they're not always that helpful. Okay. The assault craft is destroyed. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm sure we'll piss these guys off here in a minute. And say again, if you've watched the cutscenes, you probably know what's going on. Okay. Amazingly, I'm not sure if anybody died there or not. I prefer the smaller dungeons with just 3 other party members. It's just too much at this point. Levia Sas Junius. I remember this fight. First we have to use these cannons to take down her armor. If you get aggro, you need to go dance in the center. And you don't want aggro. These hands here will load Magitech missiles into the cannons. When a cannon is lit up red, that means you can fire it. But you gotta dance. What if my dancing is bad? The first time I was here, they wanted to wait until all of the cannons were loaded, and then everybody fire at the same time. I'm gonna let other people man the cannons. These cannons can be destroyed. Levia can't tell if your dancing is bad. So at this point, there's not really a whole lot to do. There will be some troops that show up to try and stop this. So all of the cannons are loaded. There we go. Go ahead and just take these guys down, because if we don't, what they're going to do is take down these cannons, and that'll be bad news. I have no idea if we can even beat this fight if the cannons get destroyed. That might be what's called like a wipe. There are some boss fights where things don't go your way, if certain items or certain NPCs get killed, it's basically fight over. You have to redo it and try again. I've never been in one of those dungeon fights, but it's bound to happen. You know what, let's zoom in. We can actually see some of the people here. I wish it had a wider field of view. Madness is happening, Len. You'll get it. Say, it makes a little bit more sense my second time through, but honestly, I'm still lost. I'm not even gonna act like I know what's going on completely. Say, since that one ran into the firing lines of her gun, I see. I wasn't gonna bother to step in front of her and get piecemealed by machine guns. So her Magitech's destroyed. And now what we need to do here, I'm pretty sure, is basically just not die. Which again, with all the flashy shit going on, it's hard for me to actually tell which way she's facing. Another boss you don't want to be in front of. Say, I saw her looking at me for a second. Okay. Tanks, or DPS. Again, most important thing, watch for the AoEs. Not gonna worry about the ads. I'll let the mages that can AoE take care of that. And did I piss her off? I pissed somebody off. Either that or somebody targeted me. I heard that little chime. Oh god, there's a lot of people targeting me. I might actually die here. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna trigger all of my dodge abilities. And at least she's almost dead. Okay. Oh. I guess that was the last fight. Maybe if we don't. I guess we don't have to fight Ultimate Weapon here. Kind of surprised that was the end of it. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and give Serenade Lynn here a commendation since it was his first time. We got all of our goodies. That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Normally there is a, I don't know. I thought that we were going to fight Ultimate Weapon at the end of this. You can tell I have no idea what's going on. Anyways, who knows what dungeon we'll be at in the next video. We'll either be a Dragoon or we'll be a White Mage. One of the two. Hopefully it's not as batshit insane as a full party dungeon like that is.